All right, guys, here we are on Terminus, a map that is on its way out of competitive play, but this will be one of the final games we see on it. And down at the bottom in the 6 o'clock position on this map is our Purple Zerg player, currently tied up in the series, wants to win his 2nd week in a row for Fight Club, but will he be able to do it? It is Empire.viOLet. And up at the 12 o'clock position, the way it said his name was kind of like Empire.viOLet? Yeah, it is. And up at the 12 o'clock position from the team Old Generation StarCrafters, it is the STC.
This has been one of my favorite sets of Fight Club so far, and not based on the quality of the games or how close it's been. It's mostly due to the fact that the players have not switched colors on us once.
Oh,
so
that is nice, too.
Yes,
that's
I applaud them for that. Thank you.
So Terminus is a venerable map. It's been around for quite a while now.
Yep.
Over a year, I believe, in fact.
Yeah, I remember watching it all the way back. I'm trying to think. I want to say like January of 2011, I think.
Yeah, something like that. It was in one of the earlier GSL seasons. And you really, I mean, despite what people say about the map now, you really have to give it a lot of credit for inspiring a lot of the fast expand builds that have become standard these days. A lot of the first times we saw those builds was on this map. So even though it's on the way out, even though it feels like it doesn't quite fit into the current tournament scene quite as well anymore, it's still a great map, and I'm going to miss it.
Yeah. Sad stuff. Making me all nostalgic now, thinking about the great games I've seen on Terminus. So.
I know. Well, you never know. There might be a situation where we see some of those older maps come back.
That's true. Some sort of ye old map tournament, if you will.
Possibly.
Yeah.
I'll have to wait and see what happens. You never know.
That's true.
You never know. This one may be a little bit too new, but, you know, I'm talking some of those older.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Kulas Ravine, Jungle Basin, Steps of War, Desert Oasis, Delta Quadrant, Scrap Station. Yeah. Would be cool. All right.
Thing, don't it?
Well, let's see here now as STC saving up for a nice, fast expansion. He's built this barracks here on the low ground, the system with a little bit of a wall, and got to make sure you release those Marines in just that much faster. Violet decides to go pool before gas this go-round, so not fast as possible. Zergling speed, that's what I was looking for. I have no idea why that was so difficult to think of, but he will be able to put out 2 queens at exactly the same time.
Because it's called metabolic boost. So part of you wants to say the actual name of the upgrade.
That's probably true,
and the other part of you wants to refer to it as everyone else knows it, you know?
Yes.
So that's where the difficulty comes in. 2 gas right away for Violet after that.
Yep.
Command center starts here. So, yeah, he is going to be going for some heavy teching early on, it looks like. Possibly Banshees. We did see him use those in an earlier game.
And let's see now is 2 queens popping out at the same time. 2 more drones coming up after that. No lings at all with those first 2 larvae. Taking a look around, this drone gets a pretty good look at what's going on inside of the STC's base. He floats that barracks back up onto the high ground, and we'll have enough gas very, very soon for a factory.
Yes, he will indeed. Now the question is, will he go for something like Reactored Hellions out of this very quickly, or will he actually do something like go right into Banshees and maybe just make a couple Hellions here and there? Chances are we'll see some Hellions, but where he goes from that point is kind of going to be the part where things start to get interesting.
Yeah, I mean, this is a very large map, and there's a lot of airspace that's good for maneuvering around with not just Mutalisks, but also Banshees and drops as well. So, very possible we'll see just a couple of Hellions make their way out and go right into Banshees afterwards, try and put on some pressure.
Yep. Sure they shall.
That's indeed.
They shall.
Indubitably.
Yes.
Quite.
Yeah. You ever wonder what's in those barrels the Overlord's flying over right now?
I always assume they're James Bond barrels. Whenever they're touched by anything, they just blow up.
You know, in the single player, don't they have barrels that blow up in the single player in StarCraft?
In
StarCraft 2?
Ooh, do they? You're talking to the guy who hasn't played the single player.
That's right.
Though,
I've only I just kind of rushed through it to see the cutscenes and storyline when I played it. So
I probably should, so I have a better idea of the lore. Ooh, 3rd Command Center coming up for the STC now.
Yeah, not too surprising. He does like to get that 3rd Command Center generally pretty quickly, and this is a perfect map for it.
Now, the last time we saw him do a quick 3rd Command Center, he did end up going into Banshees afterwards. They were of the uncloaked variety, and it was actually that kind of stranger build where you only had 1 gas following the fast expand. So
yeah,
this go around, a little more conventional.
He's got a lot of gas saved up this time, though, so I wonder. Could just be going for upgrades in the starport, too, but...
Wonder what's in a wonder ball.
What is in a Wonder Ball?
I don't know. They always freaked me out as a kid. So
it's like candy inside chocolate or something, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
I
And
never
you
ate
get like
those.
different varieties. They'd have like, you could know what kind of candy.
Those
was
were
gonna be
too
on the
high
inside.
class for me when I was a kid.
Oh, really?
We got like, if we got like half a Twix, we were lucky.
Oh, wow. Oh, old man Longquist here now.
That's right. We liked it. We didn't complain.
They were delicious.
Parents are like, Merry Christmas. Here's
Threw
a stick.
Threw a stick at you. Nice.
We're happy.
I actually was N64 kid for Christmas one
Wow.
year. So, oh yeah.
That's amazing, man. I had to buy my video game systems as a kid.
Nice. Let's see, you were an old man already when the N64 came out. So I was 9 years
How
old.
old was I?
I was 9. It came out in 96, correct?
96, yeah. So I was 13.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
Ooh.
Back then.
Yes. We just became Decker Kane all of a sudden. Yes. I had to buy my own
I played-
N64. That was kind of more Sean
Wayne
Connery.
Gretzky's 3D hockey against ball. Yeah, man. Deckard Cain, he loved that 64.
Evidently.
Diddy Kong Racing was the best.
playing Diddy Kong Racing
Proximity
against the
mines
devil.
in the library.
Oh, God. Oh, poof. So many nights doing just that.
N64 nostalgia. You know, I just picked up a 3DS this weekend. I'm going to go back and get some of those games.
Nice.
Yeah.
We have
fun.
quite a few things going on now. I'm awfully loving Mario Kart, but
Yeah, dude.
4 barracks total coming up now for STC. He's already started his tech lab production quite a bit. He's going very aggressively into upgrades, sitting on this double engineering base. Nice job of the 9 creepers up the front as well. Violet, on the other hand, he's on 3 bases, going up to layer tech already, and has a very nice wall up in the front to make sure Hellions weren't going to sneak on by.
Yeah, he was thinking Banshees too. You can tell he does have a Spore Crawler up in his main and his naturals.
Yes.
So STC kind of definitely giving off that Banshee vibe, even though he didn't quite go for it.
And STC going to put down his 3rd command center as well. Now, this was kind of the downside of this map. We talked about being nostalgic for it before, but anytime you saw Terminus, you could just reasonably expect okay, it's going to be really, really passive. We're going to go up to 3 bases per person. It's going to be harder for a Zerg to take one after that, and clash, see what happens.
Yeah,
So,
unless it was Gumiho and the STC. Those guys loved to be aggressive on this map against Zerg.
that's true.
Yeah, look at this. Double upgrades and a Spire actually coming up for Violet.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, so we're going to actually see Mutas with double upgrades. This is a little bit less common in ZVT than it used to be. And wow, those Hellions have just found the perfect spot, man.
Wow.
They're going to stay all cozy and warm. Well, at least 2 of them will
my
anyway. The
God.
others will die, but
Yeah.
the 2 that lived, they
It's
were happy.
the boy that lived had
The Hellion
17
that lived.
kills. Yes.
It's got like a cross-shaped, or not cross-shaped, like lightning bolt-shaped scar. I was thinking of it. I was thinking of The Exorcist or something. Not Harry Potter. I guess so, but yeah.
Yes.
Never mind.
Which one of these Zerglings was he who shall not be named?
It's true.
He'll be coming
Or
back later as an
Zerglemort.
ultralisk.
That's right.
All right, so Banelings and the Spire coming up as well.
That's right. We died on unicorn blood.
Wow, we're just getting all of our references thrown in there now. I love it. All right, let's
so
see here.
second factory. I like this by STC.
Yes.
One of the things that he's been kind of having a little bit of trouble with is just not having enough tanks to handle the very ground-heavy style of Violet. So adding that second factory on there is going to help him out. You can see he's already getting +1 vehicle weapons as well with this. So yeah, he's just planning. He's just kind of saying, all right, you've ran me over with Zerglings and Banelings and Roaches so many times in this series. I'm going to make sure this game it is not going to happen.
Well, let's see if he has the appropriate Mutalisk defense this go-around, though, as there are 11 Mutas popping up at the same time, along with another 11 drones. So he's going to be on 85 workers. He's got plenty of Mutas. He's got a staggering amount of upgrades, and he's moving to a 4th base. Holding on to that, though, we'll see how he wants to tackle that goal.
Yep. It's good to set goals. You know? He's all
checklists,
about mastering his core competency and things like that. Things of that nature.
Empire manager is going to make sure he fills out his TPS report.
That's right. Yep. You know, I don't know if many StarCraft 2 programmers would fit well as like a very businessy sort of CEO position here. Maybe a couple. We'll see.
Well, Mutalisks are going to swing in now, and found a nice little spot to pick off a couple of supply depots, and that is very annoying as a Terran player to have to deal with.
Yep, has to rebuild all those. Doesn't actually get supply blocked from that. Just
he did,
barely. Yeah, well, I guess blocked, but not down to the red at least.
Oh, yeah, I see what you're saying.
So, could be better. But the interesting thing is he's showing this big group of mutas, but behind this, he's getting huge amounts of ground upgrades, too.
Yes.
So, in the end, this is going to be a very ground-oriented army, just like we've seen all game long. So, the STC, you know, while he may have to worry a bit about these mutas, I think when the final attack comes, is going to be in pretty good shape if he does continue that double tank production. He's making a Thor right now just to kind of stay a little bit safer against the mutas, but I wouldn't be surprised if we saw him go back into double tanks after that Thor.
STC putting up another command center as well, so he'll want to take a fourth here in just a bit. This is the map where passive play reigns supreme, and thus far it has been exactly what we've seen. And let's actually take a look around. violet is putting up, I saw his supply tick down a little bit and make sure I wasn't missing any drops. No, it's just putting up 4 spine crawlers for the time being.
Yep. Spreading his creep out as well. He's already got his 4th base, and I think one thing he's going to be very kind of aware of is the timing of the STC's 4th base, too. He's going to try to deny it if possible. I mean, it's very difficult to stop Terran from getting a 3rd on this map, of course.
Yes.
So then the focus becomes that 4th base. You know, can you stop them from getting that? And here's a big attack, actually, from violet. Seems a bit impromptu. Don't know if this is going to work the best.
Oh, my God. He had all of his mutas clumped up and ran directly into a Thor. That's so much damage he just took.
Wow. Yeah, those mutas at collectively like a 1/3 of their life, maybe about half or so, but that is a ton of damage on those mutas. A lot of those guys less than half.
This Thor may have no kills, but it has been the absolute hero of that stand right there.
It's done a lot of damage
for the STC. Yeah,
and just overall, you know, that seemed like a very sort of spur-of-the-moment thing for Violet, where it's like, oh, I can maybe attack here, and he did it. And it didn't end up being the best timing. Now, he is still maxed out. He is still 30 supply ahead, and he is going to the main to try to do damage. He knows that the Thor is not there.
Right.
So this is going to help kind of make up for that damage that he took just a moment ago.
And STC actually making his way out to the left with a good portion of his forces, only bringing a little bit back to deal with this. He actually brings the Thor back in a medevac and is going to be able to force away those Mutalisks eventually. STC pushing at the same time through the creep on the left-hand side of the map.
11 Banelings on the way, but the STC is going to have a pretty good position here. Oh, he's going for it.
Oh, and the Banelings are rolling in from behind as well. Most of the tanks are gone now, but the Banelings were target fired down pretty effectively by the STC, and he's going to start putting pressure on this next base. The Mutalisks are swinging in to defend as well. Tanks have to get themselves sieged up, and soon.
And will they get there in time? That's a lot of mutas, but they're all low health. Looks like it might work out, though. Yeah, you can see even split his mutas up a little bit just in case there was a Thor there, but he needs to pull back now. Those mutas, oh man, he's going to lose so many if he keeps doing this. Well, I take it back. He may just have enough.
Well, let's see. He is still not going to trade the most cost-effectively against Marines, but he has enough to push this down and start going after the siege tanks as well, which is what's really critical for him.
Yeah, man. Messy engagement there for Violet, but he just had barely enough here. Zergling's getting into the main. Oh, man, Violet has got this game more or less on lockdown at this point.
Yeah, he's going to be able to take out a ton of these supply depots as well. This is so annoying. He opens this up as a permanent attack path now, and this is going to supply block STC here in a bit. He's actually going to have to sack supply to be able to put up more units here momentarily. This is not looking good for him.
Just doesn't have the anti-air to handle those mutas either, even though the mutas are a little bit lower health.
Wow.
And it looks like, 2 siege tanks do come out and get into siege mode. I'm surprised Violet let him get away with that.
Yeah, I am too.
Huh, all right. The siege tank's still there, in fact. But now the 3rd base takes more damage. The supply for STC dwindling rapidly, and there is an ultralisk cavern on the way from Violet.
Yep.
His economy is looking brilliant right now, and I think we may see a 4th game won here by Violet.
Yeah, Violet may be our first player in the set to win 2 games in a row. Put him just 1 game away from securing his continued crown here and moving on to face our next opponent in Fight Club. But we'll see if STC can make a big stand here. Admittedly, well, actually, Violet's saving up just an absurd amount of resources.
Yeah, he's going to be able to make a lot of ultralisks here in just a moment here. Yeah, I think it's going to be kind of funny.
Here we go.
Now, I wonder if he took those siege tanks out on the high ground.
Did he? No.
Check it out. He did not take those out.
5, 6, 10 ultras.
10 ultras on the way. Their upgrades are looking good, too.
Yeah. Chitinous plating coming up, and it's not that long of an upgrade. So it'll be here in less than 100 seconds.
Yeah.
He also has 3-3 on the way, finishing up a number of things, and pathogen glands as well to add in some infestors.
Yep. Tank count is not too bad for the STC, all things considered, but it's going to be very, very tough for him to hold off that many Ultralisks and the Banelings and the Zerglings and everything like that. The one thing I'm a bit surprised about with all this is that Violet just didn't go and kill the 4th. because the thing is that, yeah, he did a lot of damage here and there, but at the end of the day, STC still has 4 bases running.
Still has 43 workers up, 4 mules down on the ground right now. STC continuing to push up, try and take out a couple of creep tumors, secure the Zelnaga towers. With those 10 ultras, they are up, and they're looking for blood.
Yeah, and it's going to be pretty tough to defend. STC making a run for it.
Oh, wow.
But I don't think he's going to be able to get home in time.
Yeah, a couple of these tanks are going to get picked off before doing any damage at all. 3 of them before they actually fire a shot. The rest are actually falling very quickly. Violet just rolling to victory right now. He's going to put himself in an incredible position and just 1 game away from taking the set.
Yep, that's right. Ignoring the planetary and going right into the natural again.
Yeah.
The tanks are not on the high ground anymore because they were out on the map. And yeah, the ultralisk AoE doing okay. Decides to pull those units back though.
Yeah, he's now up by 100 supply, replenishing on another 6 ultralisks. He did finish up chitinous plating as well.
Wow.
And he's just going to go for the planetary fortress. A couple of fungal growths already hitting. STC is going to lose so many SCVs here in this defense.
Yep, planetary should go down. There it goes.
Wow.
And now he's really in trouble. He just does not have a lot of mining left over. He doesn't have a lot of anything left over, really.
No.
A couple marauders being added in to handle those ultralisks. And some of those are very low health.
Yes, they are.
It's a great decision, actually, by Violet to pull back here. You see so many players just kind of send their ultras until they die. You know, Zerg units do heal, so why not pull back if you know you're not going to break him right there? He did the damage he needed to, so yeah. I like that decision to pull back for a little bit with the ultralisks.
Get a queen up there, throw down some transfusions, something like that as well. Yeah. Taking a look around, he's just got a bunch more infestors popping out. He is once again max. He's sitting on 3,500, 1,000 at the moment. Looks like we had, okay, I saw a blue dot, but it's just an SCV patrolling back and forth. Yep, looks like you have bases. That is correct.
Pretty much. Do you remember when ultralisks used to be even bigger than they are now?
Oh my god.
Didn't they reduce them by like 30% size in that one patch? This is way back when. They did it to the Thors and ultralisks, and it was kind of funny trying to watch them walk up ramps before that.
That was one cool thing about the Heart of the Swarm beta when I tried it. That was ultralisks were a nice, manageable size, and they had that cool burrow charge thing. So.
Oh, they were even smaller in the beta?
Yeah.
Really?
Yes, they were.
Interesting. Okay. They weren't really all that large in Brood War on the screen, too, so.
No.
I think they just wanted to keep the scale kind of realistic a little bit in this game. But.
Let's see here. Yes, as realistic as ultralisks could be.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Let's see here. As Hatchery is coming under fire, looks like STC just going to try and pick up some workers. Going to force these Zerglings back once again.
Yeah.
And force STC to pick up again. A couple of units going down, though. Not sure what he's worried about or what he's worried about microing. He could save these units by picking them up, but instead, they're all going to get killed. Oh, one Marine making its way away.
Got a lot to worry about right now. You know, he's trying to retake his 4th base. Corruptor's on the way now, so it looks like there may be a bit of a Broodlord transition in the future here from Violet. And a lot of Corruptors.
STC dropping once again, but some ultras are going to come by, clean that up. This is actually not too bad. I mean, I guess, you know, if Violet gets some of these workers actually cleaned up, it frees supply for more Broodlords to hit the ground.
Yeah. Quite true here. So the STC trying to do what he does best and set up that really hyper-defensive position that just cannot be broken, but I don't know, man. You can't really... It's tough to stand against that many ultras. A lot of them are at low health, but that's still a lot of damage coming at STC right now.
All right, Fungal Growth catches a lot of bio units. We'll need to see a couple more from these infestors, and indeed they are hitting units in place and allowing the ultralisk to move up and just do maximum damage. There are a few more siege tanks filtering into this. The ultralisks were very low coming into this engagement, so they'll clean up a lot of stuff, but they are eventually all going to go down. Another drop hitting over at the right-hand side of the map, and Violet actually making another 13 Corruptors. Yeah, he does have 4 Broodlords and another 7 on the way.
Here's the thing, is that Marauders and tanks are pretty good units, but they're not very good against Broodlords. So I think this transition is going to maybe surprise STC a little bit. He's not going to be prepared for it at all. How many infestors does Violet have, though? I feel like he lost quite a few. Yeah, he did lose quite a few in that attack again. Just not being very careful with those, being a little bit sloppy. So that's going to weaken things slightly here, and the STC has started Viking transition. Why can I not say that?
Production.
Started making Vikings, that's what I'm saying.
Yes, a little bit of Viking production, just 2 at a time for now, but I think he's still just working off of 1 starport. Yeah, and that's not going to be quick enough to catch up. There's 5 more Corruptors on the way. There's 11 Broodlords, 13 Corruptors, 5 more Corruptors coming out, plus 3 attacks are out there as well. So with a couple of Fungals that are behind, these Broodlords haven't even been touched yet. STC is just losing everything.
Yeah, big drop on the right side of the map to try to take out that base, but it's going to be too little too late.